Raphael Stillings, thank you.
Hello. Hello, everyone. And I am humbly, and it's truly an honor and privilege to be before you today. And after such an introduction, there's nothing else for me to say, honestly. And I'm kind of glad about that. And the sincerity comes from, it's not about me, much where the baseline of my book was written, but it's really about us, the connections. In a sense, I was inspired to humble myself to let other people know that it's going to be okay. And the baseline as I began to continue to write the book came from what we're going to speak about today. Some of the choices and decisions that I made in my life to either accept the rewards or the consequences. And choices and decisions as we move today are some of the things that we do all the time and really sometimes don't pay attention to. As we start off today, once again, what's one of the first things that you do in the morning? And I want this lecture to be more very, very interactive, not just me sitting up here speaking to you, because there's some things I hope that you walk away from and take with you because you participated in. That this is something that you can apply not later, but immediately the moment you walk out that door. That's how impactful, and I'm glad for this intimate setting, because at that point, hopefully you get a chance to feel that the choices and decisions that you make today can either take you backwards or propel you forward in your life. The choices that you make here at 18 and 19 and 20 years old can impact the next 18 and 19 and 20 years of your life. Now, what choices and decisions do you really want to make? Let's really talk about it. Let's think about it. I mean, didn't even want to come with the ties. I didn't want to make it seem so informal, like he got it together. No, I wanted to present myself as someone who's making the same choices and decisions as you are. As I'm pursuing my doctorate degree as well. As I'm pressing. As I'm making sacrifices. So I stand before you, not better than you, but I stand with you. So let's talk about it. Let's hopefully touch on some things. Once again, choices and decisions equal life, okay? So once again, what are some of the first things you do? Before you open your eyes, what's one of the first things you do in the morning? Before you open your eyes, what is one thing you do in the morning? Say it again. Rub them. Rub them, excellent. Rub them. What's another one of the things you do first thing in the morning before you open your eyes? Another one of the things you do before you open your eyes first thing in the morning. This would be funny, really, because some people do different things. Stretch before you open your eyes. Yawn. What else? Right, people smiling, right? Yeah, don't want to tell too much, and I do. Right?
Hit the snooze.
Hit the snooze. Yes, indeed. That's me. I got 5 more minutes. You make choices. Do I get up now or do I snooze? What do I have to do today? What do I want to do today? Where am I going first? If at all, right? What am I wearing? It's raining outside today, it's spring, you know, right? Do I have time to eat? Some people skip out breakfast in the morning, you know, right? Or what am I going to eat? Because some people just can't start their morning without it, right? Is it going to be a good day or a bad day? Remember, that is your choice to decide. That is your power and God-given ability to do every day, cognitively, all right, to make a choice, okay? Should I check my cell phone to see if I have any missed calls and messages? Now we all know that most of us do that before we do anything else on that board, right? Because some people just can't live without their phones, right? I would like to share something with you. A piece that inspired me, that I've written just for a time such as this, as I once again continue to make choices and decisions. And this is titled Choices and Decisions Equal Life. The conception of your very being was a choice. From that point on, so was everything else. The decision to see the choice through has still yet to unfold. For the rewards or the consequences have yet to be told. See, each was born with their own choice to follow a predestined path and design. A purpose-filled way traveled with you in mind that was so divine. But have our decisions robbed us of that plenteous plan, led us to make other choices that will counteract our righteous stand? Did we decide not to fulfill our potential of who we really are and truly born to be? Have we chosen not to ask ourselves the question, what is God requiring of me? We must accept responsibility for each choice we make, based our life-changing decisions upon things that are real and not fake. Improve and get better each time we are presented with the task. So when it comes to making a decision, we don't even have to ask. For we know the choice and it's going to be right. The ones that will allow us to enjoy the day and not the sorrow of the night. Choose to decide to fight for something, as the battle lies within your ability to make good choices and decisions. For even choosing nothing over something is still a choice. Choose to accept the fact that you are still here and decide to ignore the doubts, anxieties, and fears. Choose to see past what should have been and what could have been. Decide on what is and what will be. Remembering this is your life. And the choice is always yours. Realizing the importance of making choices and decisions that will open and not close doors. Let's ponder on that. You see, a lot of us are at points in our life that choices and decisions we're making right now may be very critical. As we watch the news, hear about the peer pressures and anxieties, some of the obstacles that we all face now daily, affected on personal levels. No one is exempt. So remember the choices that we make to get through them, as the book is titled, Be Ye Connected. Remember your resources and sources to help you get to that next level, if that's what you're choosing and deciding to do for yourselves. See, after you realize in the morning that you made the choice to either snooze, what comes next? Say action. An action. A decision is now made. For whatever choice, whether you chose to snooze, whether you chose to eat, right? Let me get up now or have 5 more minutes won't hurt. Decide on, am I deciding to handle all my business today as opposed to waiting until later? I will make the choice to do what I want after I finish my important business. These are all decisions. Have I decided to get out of bed today to attend work or school? Am I playing hooky? Am I playing sick? You know, these are all choices and decisions. I decided to get dressed according to the weather and my activity. Because I decided to get up early, I can now eat breakfast. These are all decisions now that follow some of the choices that we make. And of course, most of us decide to take that phone with us wherever we go. Right? So, what we'd like to do is we're talking about choices and decisions. Let's really talk about what these things are. What is a choice? We're going to talk about it. Let's describe, what do we know about choices? Can it be good choices? Can it be bad choices? Can it be choices? Yes.
They're necessary.
Choices are necessary. How about that? Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Anyone else? Anyone else know about choices?
They have consequences.
They have consequences. They can have consequences. Let's talk. Let's see. What is a choice? A choice consists of having the mental capacity and ability to make a judgment based upon the merits and multiple options, selecting one or more of them. Going back to the choices, yours, right? Excellent. Although choices can be made upon imagination, often choices are made upon real options and are followed by corresponding actions. Why would you want to make choices based upon real things? Anyone? Why would you want to make choices? I see a smile. Why would you want to make choices based upon things that are real maybe? Well, without a dreamers, excellent.
Real outcomes.
Real outcomes. The reality is some situations. Sometimes we don't want to face the reality of some situations. That's why we avoid the choice maybe in the first place. Okay? Commonly, choices don't be a good thing, right? We all like choices. Raise your hand if you like options. That's it. Right. Yes, indeed. Give me options. What's on the menu? What you serving today? That's right. Here are my options. I want to know. Especially I'm spending my money. All right. You want to know your options, right? So choices are good things because don't have enough of them and see what happens when you're limited. When you go to the store and you want your favorite pair, whatever's left on the shelf, and they only got 2 sizes left, and neither one of them are yours. How you feel? Limited in choices. Now you gotta maybe go someplace else, more gas. Who has time and money for that, right? And then if you want to clock it, well, I didn't have enough time to get done what I needed to get done. Okay. But then the choice, like I said, can lead to a discomfort or an unsatisfactory outcome. Raise your hand and here you consider yourself to be mature. Yeah. Raise your hand in here if you consider yourself to be an adult. Right? Okay? We even have to accept the fact there's no more blaming involved because we just admitted the fact that we're now adults. And we're mature enough to handle whatever choice and decision that we're making. We've given ourselves our own authority and power to say, oh, well, I guess I can come and go as I please, unless you live under somebody else's roof. Well, then you still have to respect what's going on with them and then make your choice eventually when the time comes on what you're going to do about your situation. Young people especially, right? This is why this is just for you, because a lot of times we're not exempt as adults. We got to make choices that I woke up, saw the rain, and said, oh, it's going to be, you know, no one's going to come today or everyone's going to come today. Then I chose to tell myself if only one shows up, at least hope I touch one, and now we have a room full of people. Thank you for coming. Yes, indeed. What is choice? Being able to choose. Choice is upon us. It is up to the person if they want to choose the right or wrong path. Choice, the act of choosing or selecting. One of the number of things from which only one can be chosen. The person or thing chosen or selected. Of superior grade, appealing to refined taste. Choice. Choice, all those things that choice really are important. You know, that's why I felt it was time to start talking about this for us and to start thinking. My book is filled with a bunch of questions that probe you, hopefully, to think. Because even as education evolves, we as educators need to be creating classrooms of thinkers and not people who are spoon-fed, but allow you to have the choice to say, I'm going to use this information wisely and apply it down the line to my life. Even when they're not here, I was in class paying attention, Mr. Stillings, and I'm going to do something about whatever situation I'm in. That's a choice. I want this to be impactful and personal. Because this means a lot. And it shouldn't mean a lot to you because whose life is it? Yeah. That's where the connection comes from one being to another. All right? You have to remember that. What is choice? The act or insistence of choosing or selecting. Once again, power of choosing. There's a power. There's a power that people don't understand. Like the treasure sometimes that lies in your belly, but that's a whole nother lecture. There's a power that you have. That's what makes a lot of times different from animals. They don't have as many choices. Even though they have brains, they don't have all the options and choices that we have. We do. We have, we can evolve, not just, physically maybe, but mentally. The person in you should be changing and growing every day. If you're the same person you were last week even, I would check myself. Because that means the last week you didn't learn now one thing to hopefully make yourself better. And that was your choice not to do so. Count those little blessings even, right? All right? So choice is a good thing, right? You see a lot of positives in choices. Of superior, of choice, preferred, favorite, of superior quality, excellent, carefully chosen, appropriate. Now, choice can also be vulgar or rude. When can a choice be vulgar or rude, you feel? When you're being vulgar and rude. And when you are vulgar and rude, is that not a choice to do so? You need to say what people are saying right about, no worries, right? Or someone steps in your shoe and says, it's all right, it's going to be okay. Or you can choose to make it confrontational over someone stepping over on your shoe for nothing. That's a choice there. Say it again. Unless they were new? Okay. Okay. All right. Well, I pray even if they're new or not, that you make a good choice and say, because I'm making better choices in my education in my life, I'll get new sneakers. Right? You won't make it confrontational because you got things to do. That's my motto for 2013. We got things to do. And that's the reason why I'm here before you today. I've been here for a couple years now and finally got to the point in my life of realizing that we got things to do and accepting that. Finally, my choice. All right? And remember, nothing else. Choice is always an option. The best part, all right? The selection and worthy of being chosen. Anyone likes to be chosen? Anyone ever been, you're on a team and everyone's, you're younger? And we're selecting teams you're playing. Anyone remember that? And who wanted to be left out? Who wanted not to be chosen? Okay? No one wanted to be left, or no one really wanted to be last pick. Now, did you? When you were chosen first, you walked around your chest. You want me on your team, right? So remember all the good things, once again, and importances of your choices. All right? Because they can also be broken down into different categories, the types of choices. And it may be for some, if it becomes overwhelming, if we maybe can look at certain things and not maybe compartmentalize them, because all things are interactive and learning, but maybe to help us out as we get better at making these choices, we can maybe put them into personal and business and consumer. Personal choices. Hopefully one day, will you choose to get married or not? Will you have children? Will you go on to accept not just a degree? Will you go on to further yourselves? Will you stay in a house or an apartment? Will you take your parents in if something were to happen? A lot of choices on the plate for a lot of you. That's why we're having this lecture. Do I stay in school or do I want money first? Let's talk about business. What type of business choices might you make? Does anyone work and still go to have a part-time job? That's professional. That's professional right there. Is this part-time job going to get you to where you want to go once you finish your degrees? Something else to think about. Is it lining up for maybe internship purposes? Am I gaining the experience and the skills and the knowledge that's going to take me to that next level? Because you're obviously coming to school, you've made the choice to come to school for something. Good choice. Please be encouraged and reminded of that good choice, because nowadays it's becoming stiff competition. And you need to have something, some type of paper, some type of credential or credibility behind you nowadays to let people know, employers know, that I am capable, I have learned, that I do have follow-through even. Because sometimes education can just be that. The moment you have accomplished and completed it, you show resiliency to follow through. Okay? Consumer. What kind of consumer choices might you have to make? Okay, you spend your whole paycheck on a pair of sneakers. You're not trying to be funny, right? But see, so that's consumer choices. Or do you say, well, I can be okay with some other type of sneakers and save my money for the future? Consumer choices. Do I have to have the latest phone? How do I need my bill really to be knowing I don't have an income yet? Oh, wait a minute. See, at a young age, are we? Anyone else? Yes.
Do I want that, whatever it is, bad enough to go into debt?
Ooh. Anyone? Some consumer choices. See, now require, hopefully you are beginning to think. So this is what my book is about. Hopefully now thinking, what am I spending my money on? Am I eating out too much? Especially knowing how hard times have gotten for some. And not even just for some, the fact that prices have gone up on a lot of things. I'm a peanut butter eater. I've seen peanut butter go up. How about that? I'm gonna keep it something simple like that. Peanut butter. I've watched it go right on up. Milk, quarter, everything. Wonder where your little extras went, where it went to. Now your consumer consumptions. The simple thing. Just continue to be reminded, all right, of some of the choices that we're making that's going to impact our future. This is some choice quotes real quick to just get you guys thinking as we transition to something real quick. Would anyone care to read those for us to help us out? Give you something to think about. Choice quotes?
Nobody ever did or ever will escape the consequences of his or her choices.
Who? Yes, indeed. No one, nobody ever did or ever will. Just look at it and absorb some of these and remember those, please. Anyone else? Anyone else that'll help us out? Yes.
There are two primary choices in life: to accept conditions as they exist or accept the responsibility for changing them.
Anyone else to help us with the last one?
If you are not choosing to live, then what are you choosing to live?
If you're not choosing to live, then what are you choosing to do? Just some things to think about. Because once again, the choice is always yours.